What do you do when the funeral is over and people walk away? What do you do when there is silence? There's no more calls, no more text messages. Those things tend to slow down. What do you do when family and friends that have traveled in to visit with you have gone back to their homes and it's just you and the empty chairs, the empty bedroom, the empty house? What do you do? That is a famous question that some people don't ever ask. They think it, they wonder. Sometimes they feel like people just don't care anymore. And sometimes that's the case, but most times it's not. And so today I wanted to share with you reasons why people go on with life and we're still stuck here with what I call day one after the funeral. Now, day one for you could be weeks later, it could be months later, it could even be years later. But day one after the funeral generally begins when there's just silence and there's no more interactions, no more activities. And that's a tough spot to be in. I remember when my mom was really sick, she had people coming in her house left and right. They were bringing food. They were bringing flowers because her birthday and Mother's Day and all of that was centered around the same time. Her birthday was April 24th, and then Mother's Day was May 13th that year, and then she passed away May 15th. So it was just a lot of company coming through. People were bringing her things that, of course, she didn't recognize or she could care less because she was so, physically sick. I can't say she could care less, but she couldn't show any interest because her body and her mind just wasn't physically allowing her to. But there was so much company coming in and out and so many visitors and just all the things. And then even after she passed away, there were so many calls, there were so many text messages. There were people that were still bringing toiletries over, waters. Like it was such a blessing. And then there came a time where all of that just stopped. It felt like it went from 50 people a day to possibly one or two. And then those, people started to trickle away. If you never met me before, my name is Alicia, and this is the Good Grief, Great Morning channel where we help, encourage, motivate, and support you on your grief journey. I just want to apologize. I'm outside, y'all, and it is so hot in the Carolinas, so I'm sweating. I wanted to give some reasons why people disappear after the funeral, just so you'll have some understanding, just so you'll know that you're not alone. And the first reason is I think people just have to get back to life. I think that's one of the major reasons. And there are many. People have jobs to go to. They have families they have to go back to. Maybe you have friends and family that traveled in, but they have to go back to work. So they have to fly back to where they're from. And that's a major reason why, after the funeral, you don't hear from people. They've simply gone back to their normal. And unfortunately, when we're grieving, we don't have that luxury. And then the second one I would say is after some time, people don't know what to say anymore. They feel like if they say the wrong thing, or if they do the wrong thing, that they're going to ignite some pain or emotions. And it doesn't matter. That's always going to happen. We're always going to have waves of grief that's going to come up no matter what people say. Now, of course, some people can say the wrong thing or do the wrong thing. Sometimes they don't know. They don't know. I guess the feeling is, well, if I mention their loss, or if I bring that back up, I don't want to make them sad. I don't want to ruin their day. And so we have to give them grace because people don't always know. We do still want people to come around and check on us. We do still want people to mention our loved one's name to keep their memory alive. We do want to hear the stories of how our loved ones impacted them and loved them. And all of those things are actually healing and helpful and not hurtful. And then a third reason why is they believe that the funeral is the finish line or the final step, when in actuality, it is the starting line. And after the funeral, day one just begins when the hurt and the pain starts to become real because people walk away, because people go back to life. It's us having to process what has happened to us that feels like our grief journey has just begun. There's planning and there's decision making and there's, again, activities. There is programs that have to be made and obituaries and all of the paperwork and all of those things that go into the things that happen right after someone passes away, or even during, like during that anticipatory time. But then when all of the signing stops and the ink is dried and all the papers are filed and put away, and even when clothes and jewelry and shoes and all of these, properties have been settled, then it's just you with your feelings, you with your emotions. People think that the funeral is the end. No. The hard work begins after the funeral. And this one is kind of hard to talk about, and it may be hard for you to hear. There are some people out there that are, there's nothing to see here people. That's the best I can put it. If there's nothing exciting or nothing that's tugging on them or making them laugh or making them even cry or emotional, some people are dramatic and they like all of the things that go along with the funeral. Have you ever seen a person that literally goes to every funeral that they can barely know a person? Like, they can attend the church and have never spoken to that person. They could have worked with the person and didn't like them. But some people just like to go to funerals. They like the drama of seeing other people cry. They like to pretend like they're feeling something. So you're not going to see them after the funeral is over, because there's nothing to see here. Everything is over and gone. And sometimes people don't want to hear this too, but God never walks away. He's there from the beginning to the end. He's always with us, even when we're in pain, when we're in disbelief, when we're distracted, when we can't focus, when our energy is depleted, when everybody walks away, the cards stop, the calls stop. You can always make the call to Jesus. Tell him about your struggles. There's a song that says he will hear your earnest cry and he will answer by and by. The other day I was in the bathroom. Hopefully this is not TMI, but I was handling my business. I had a salad the night before, so I was literally on the toilet. And the song just came to me. What a friend we have in Jesus. All our sins and griefs to bear. What a privilege to carry everything to God in prayer. I'm not a singer, y'all. But I don't know why that song came to me. I've sang that song for years. Do you guys know I've never even realized the part that says all our sins and griefs to bear? I couldn't stop singing it. I sang it so much until I started crying in the bathroom. But those are the winks that God gives to us. That lets us know, I'm here with you. I'm giving you a song you've been singing forever and didn't even listen to the words of it. But I'm letting you know I'm here to comfort you. I think the second verse says, oh, what peace we often forfeit. Oh, what needless pains we bear. All because we do not carry everything to God in prayer. We forfeit our peace. We carry needless burdens because we don't take things to God in prayer. Does that mean that there's going to be no more ache, no more pain, no more longing, missing the person that we love? Absolutely not. We lived here in this human earth, in human form, with the people that we cherished. And because they have gone on, there's a void, there's a longing to be with them. And because we don't have that, we're going to feel some pain and emptiness naturally, but just know you could take everything to God in prayer. I hope this video helps. Again, maybe today is your day one. You actually buried a loved one this week or today. Or maybe you're watching this video and you buried a loved one months or years ago, and your day one feels like it's starting today. Bring God along with you in this grief. When everyone walks away, invite God in again. Again, he's never left, but he wants you to let him know that he's invited. He cares about you. I love y'all, and so does God. All right, I'll see you in the next video.